Tamara here, nice of you to join me, and a very warm welcome to my channel. It's lovely to have you here with me today. Now this is going to be the tutorial for the PS I Love You album that I recently did a walk project share of this album. So if you want to check out the walkthrough, then head up to the link up there and that will take you through to the walkthrough. The walkthrough is only about 15 minutes long. It's quite a short walkthrough. So I'm actually going to be using the deconstructed Trifold Waterfall Folio Album, which is this one here. So if I just bring that in, you can see. So it's this album here that I've used here. But I'm not going to use the PS I Love You because I've done that album already. I'm going to use a different paper from Graphic 45. Now this one is called Love Notes. Not used it before, but I really love the papers, so I thought this will go both on the love theme train of the albums as well, so I thought it would give it a nice look. I followed a tutorial from Graphic 45, which was their Volume 5 album kit, which was using the Enchanted Forest papers on that. The link for that tutorial will be in the description box down below as well. So I was tasked with leveling up a previous tutorial from Graphic 45 and coming up with my own version. So this is my own version. Although I've kept some of the elements the same, I've had to change them around in a different way. So again, the link for that will be in the description box down below. Now please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe on my channel. It really does help my channel grow, and I appreciate each and every one of you that takes the time to leave a comment and subscribe as well. So without further ado, let's get into the crafting. Oh, before I go, there is also a cutting guide, free cutting guide as well for this particular album. So I will have it on my Facebook group Memories Paper Art, but it will also be available from Graphic 45 as well. So I'm going to start with the album. Now I've just labelled my album. I'm just going to put all the bits aside. So I've labelled it. So this is how you open it. So your magnets are here. So I've labelled it A. So this is my front cover. Then I've opened it out and then done B and C. Okay, so A, B, C going from right to left. And then when you turn it over, we then are going to do, this is going to be A, B and C, and both C's are on this side here. Now what I've done is I've taken the Romantic Rhapsody from the Love Notes collection and I've cut it up into 3 pieces. Now the measurements will be on the cutting guide, so I won't go through measurements with you on the video. I've done one for my front, so this is my front cover, this is my spine, and this is the part that's left. This is going to go onto side B. So when we turn it over like so, it's going to fit like this, and then your spine is going to go there, and then your front cover. Now the reason why I haven't done this as a full sheet, one is I wanted to carry that pattern paper pattern all the way through, and second, we're going to have this covered anyway, so you're not really going to see that there's a join. So I'm going to stick this on now. Now if you want to go ahead and ink your edges, which is what I will do now. Now again, pick the colour that you want. Now on my PS I Love You, I didn't ink my edges, I just went round with a black felt tip pen. I just went down and did that just all the way round, just to hide that white core edge. So let's get sticking. So this is my front cover. just quickly measure how much distance I've got. Now it says I've got 4 inches. Now I'm going to come down and do this at 3 7/8 by 7 3/8. Okay, that's going to give me just a little bit of a border there. So I'm going to use this from the Patterns and Solids, like so, and we can cut that down. And then we've got our other spine, so I'm going to do that now, like that. So that's my other spine. Put those there because we'll come back and use those in a second. So let's stick this on now and ink the edges. Okay, I've had a bit of a problem. As I've gone to edit my video page, this page here, so it would have been your C page, for some unknown reason I didn't film it. So I'll go through it quickly with you now. So all I did is cut my pattern paper, my base one. It was 6 inches by 7 3/8 tall, and then this here is a little flap. So in the PDF it tells you the flap, and then it tells you to score at 1/2 inch along the top of the short edge, one of the short edges, to create a flap. I then added a cut apart on the top, and then I cut out of the pattern paper this postage stamp tuck spot, and I've just glued the bottom of that down to the paper so that it creates like my little a tuck spot closure, and then you can put a photograph or whatever in there. So I do apologise, don't know how that happened, but that was just a quick run through of everything that I did. Okay, once you've cut out your packaging, now you want to make sure that you've got black edging either side. You don't want to have any of the writing or imagery showing through, so you may need to be a little bit more clever with your cutting than what you would do normally. So I've just inked my back edges as well, just to get away from that white corner. We do need to just score one side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're just going to score one short side at 1/2 inch. Now bring in your page, make sure you've got it up the right way, and we're just going to measure. So I'm going to push that round like so and measure with my pencil. Just give it a little tiny smidge more than the actual edge of your paper. That way it won't be fighting with your page to shut. And then push that down. So then we can add our glue. And make sure you've got it the right way. It goes this way. And then you can just work out where you want to have it, like so. Now make sure your page goes more towards the spine than towards the edge, the outer edge, because that's where your magnets are. Make sure you've got enough space as well to clear your joint of your hinge. And then that's that page done. So once you've got your booklet cut out, you're going to score it at 5.5, okay? So make sure you score at 5.5, fold it over, just burnish that edge. I don't need that at the moment. And then this is going to fit over our little belly band like so. So it will fit in there. So cover your belly band. Okay, so I've inked my edges, I've just put my glue on, and then we can add it to the belly band. Then as you can see, it gives a nice shimmer, but you wouldn't know that it's the packaging. So I really like that idea. So we can add then the little cutout that is going to go along the top there. I didn't back it with anything, but again, you can if you want. So I've just turned it over so that I've got an idea of where to put my glue. So I'm going to just put my glue in between, like so. Turn it over and then add it to my band, like so. Just make sure you've got no glue underneath there, and then this is going to fit on the top and be like that. Now you can round the corners, which I'm going to actually do, like so. And then I've just got another cutout here that you can put on the top. Now again, if you want to back that with some cardstock, you can. I'm not going to. I did ink the edges, so they were already done. So we're going to put that on like so, and then that goes into that page, and that page is then finished. So that's 2 pages that we've done. So we've got so when they close now, you've still got a bit of space in between there. It's not too bulky, and your magnets are still closed. Now we can come now and work on side B. Now with our card pockets, now what we need to do is we need to really burnish these down really well. So the top one, just burnish it so that it's really, really crisp on that side. And the other pocket, do exactly the same and burnish that really, really well. Okay. So what we're going to do, you will also need to get yourself some binder clips. Just hold it together for when we attach it. So I think what we'll do is we will attach it first and then work on our patterned paper. So with one of them, you need to have one of your glue tabs on the left and one on the right. Now the one on the right is going to fit, and it's going to stick to the top front of your card pocket. Don't push it over and try to stick it on the back, because you'll end up with a lot of bulk. So with this, we're going to put our glue on the mountain fold side of our glue tab. Put quite a bit of glue on there, then line them up, okay, as best you can, like so. And then when you're happy that they're nice and aligned, put your binder clips on. Now these are going to sit in place while we cut our card. Okay, make sure they line up. So if you're going to keep your hole out, make sure that they're lined up. Okay, just put your clips on. And then just by doing this, keeping these clips on for 5 or 10 minutes will really help your card, your paper stick together. Now I've probably gone a bit OTT with the binders, but you can't be too careful with that. So that will stick together. Make sure you're quite happy with your placement, like so. So then go ahead and cut out your pattern paper. So I'm going to cut out the base page now, so that's the bottom part, and I'm just going to use some of the offcuts that I've already cut out because these will be the ideal size. So I'm using one of the Patterns and Solid papers, and this is called Melodic Mistiffs. So again, just use your cutting guide to cut them out. I'm not going to go through all the measurements. So I'm going to do the bottom bit first. Now the other thing you will need to cut out is your pocket protectors. Again, you don't have to, but I like it because it does protect the pockets from tearing as you put in and out your card. So I score a 1/2 inch first along one side, and then I cut down at 1 inch. Now doing it that way means that you've got a lot more to hold as you're scoring, and B, you end up with a nice straight edge rather than having it all skew width. So I'm just going to cut that down now to my 7 1/4. You will need to add a piece of pattern paper along there. Again, just choose some offcuts. Now this is just going to be an 1/8 inch smaller. So this is at 3/8 by 7 1/8. Like so. So that's that. And then I will ink everything. Okay, when you're happy, okay, we can bring this in. So this is going to be my top piece, which is going to go up here, like so. Now it is slightly smaller than our outside one. I've done it, that has been done intentionally, so that when we put our flaps on, you're not going to see the paper winking out of the bottom. So I'm going to add this first. Now this needs to be glued all the way down, and again just make sure you clear that join. There we go. Like that. Okay, now with our top one, sorry, our pocket part of the page, we will put our pocket protector on first. Now I tend to add my glue on one side first, get it into place like so, and then fold it down so that the paper meets the top of where your score line is, like so, and then just burnish that down, and then we can add the glue on the top part of the pocket protector and then burnish that down as well. Sometimes it's easier if you've got a bone folder, because it tends to really get it stuck down pretty quickly. So then that's your pocket protector part done, and then we're going to add just the little embellishment on the top, and then this, add the glue. Make sure you've got it the correct way if you've got directional paper. I'm just going to add that bit off, like so. So then that's what it's going to look like when it's finished, and that's your pocket. So add your glue. Now we're just adding the glue to 3 sides, okay, and you can stick this bit down. Try and meet up with your top pocket here. Now it is a little bit wider or longer than your actual pocket opening. That's so that you can you don't see any of the cardboard underneath or your cardstock. I'm just going to make sure that that is as I want it, and then just give it a little, there we go. It's probably a bit big for this actually, but well, There we go. So then you can decorate that as you want. I didn't, I just kind of left that plain, but again you could add a cutout. If you had some extra cutouts, you could add some sort of going this way or that way if you wanted to. I wouldn't use that one, but that's something that you can do at a later stage. Then you can add in your tags and put that like so. Okay, what I've decided to do in this album is change it slightly. Now I am going to put my card pockets, actually I'm going to attach them to the hinge here, or the spine. I'm just going to do it so that they are just barely about 1/8 of an inch above the join. That way I should get a nice smooth closure. So add your glue. Now you can add some double-sided tape as well if you want to make sure that it's stuck fully straight away, but this glue is pretty quick drying, so I am going to just use the glue. Make sure you try and get it as even and level as possible, like so, and then push that down. Now I will just burnish that down. Okay, once you've cut your piece out, you need to use one of your binder clips, and we're going to position it so that it is virtually touching the level, sorry, it's level with your page underneath. Make sure that you've got your gaps either side here, but make sure the top bit is level. Okay, and then once you're happy, just put your clip back on and turn it over. Use your pencil and just trace around that hole like so. And then what we can do is, using a 2-inch circle punch, we're just going to line up those holes like that and punch out. And then when you come to put it on, you should have a nice border around that. It won't be perfect because you won't have the same hole as what's underneath, but by doing that you at least get somewhat in the space that you want. Okay, like so, once you've positioned it correctly. There we are. Now I may need to go just a tiny bit more, just a little bit. There we go. There we are. That's perfect. Okay, move that over. There we go. Now ink around your edges, and then we can stick this bit on. Now what I am going to do is we'll cover this first, and then we can add when we can do the belly band. So just add your glue, put quite a bit around that side, and then stick this bit down like so. So that's one part. Now when we come onto the inside, we will be doing our pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my 5.5 pockets out of this one sheet, so that they pattern match. So we're going to cut them down to 5.5. So that will be this side, and then this side 5.5 again. So that will be the other opposite side. Oh, and then we need to cut them down to, I think it's 7.5. Sorry, 7.25. I'm just double checking. 7 1/8. Okay, So 7 1/8. So I'm cutting the top part off like so. So 7 1/8. And then cut this down to 7 1/8. Like so. Now again, keep these because you've got some nice cutouts that you can use for those. So these are going to make up our pockets here. So we'll have, that will be there. And then this one will be here, like so, and it will go all the way along. So we've got just a tiny gap in between, like so. But then before we stick them all down, we need to do our cutout. So bringing in your binder again, hold it down, turn it over, find your pencil, and then just cut that out like so. That's one. And then do the same with this side. And then use your hole punch and just punch that hole out. Again on this side. I'm just going below my pencil line. Make sure you've got the right page on the right one. But we're not going to put them on just yet because we need to just cut out our top bits. And then these are going to go at the top here. Okay, so ink your edge. Then you'll also need your pocket protectors. So just grab some cardstock. Remember, score at 1/2 inch and then cut at 1 inch. Okay. And then we go with 7 1/8. By 7 1/8. And then we will add the pattern paper to these in just a second. So let's add one first. And make sure we've got it the right way. This one goes first. Remember to push it right up to that edge and then burnish down. Okay, when you're happy, just put your glue on the other side and do the same, like so. It will eventually stick. Okay, then add your glue. Now remember, the glue is just going around the outside, like so. Now you will have a slight, your pocket won't be as wide because you've got this cut out here, but if you're not worried about that, then that's fine. If you are, just put a piece of craft card along the top on both sides, and that will then hide that, and then pattern paper all the way up to it, and then that way you will be able to use the whole of your pocket. So that's one. Two, just put the paper, make sure you've got it the right side, like so. Bring it down and then burnish. I've put the glue on both times this time to see how that works, and yeah, it works pretty fine. Okay, double-sided tape. Put your glue on. I'm going to come up there a little bit. Oh, that's right. I was just about to say, oh no, I put it on the wrong side, but I haven't. It's right. Oops. Make sure that you are level with everything, and then push down. There we go. So that's then your two pockets done, like so. Now for the inside part, which is underneath, I am just going to have that as a patterned paper piece. So I'm going to piece some paper together, only because you're not really going to see this because it's underneath, and you've then also got your, let me bring my one in so that you can see it. You've also then got your belly band, which is, let me push that down, and we'll put this back on, and then you'll be able to see. So your belly band has got, will hide the two different pattern papers, and then that way as well it just gives another feature to your book. So I'm just going to use this oddment here just because I had it to hand. Just need to add this part, so let me grab another offcut. So next let's do the belly band. Now with that we will go ahead and I will cut these out with you. So you will need some cardstock for this. I'm going to use black, but you can go ahead and use craft card or a different colour, whatever you fancy. And we're going to cut the belly band at 11.5. Okay, so it's just a smidge off by 4.5. Again, this can be as big or as small as you want. So you can go to 5 if you want to. So we've cut that down, put your paper, put this part to one side because you might need it later, and grab another sheet of card. And this is going to cut down to 4.5. So you're cutting along the portrait side. And you're going to cut this then down to, we're going to leave that as is for the minute. So grabbing your belly band, we're going to score it at 2. Okay, just one side, score at 2. And then at 2, and you're going to move it up to 2.25. And then add a smidge. It's just to give it that little bit more than a quarter. So once you've done that, we're going to just burnish that down so that we've got some nice crisp lines. Okay. And that then is your gusset for your belly band. Okay, once you've then got your belly band sorted, you need to then turn it upside down so that you've got your scored edge at the top, and then what would be your back bit showing upwards. Now we're just going to use that as our guide. I'm just going to put a pencil mark down onto the black card to mark where my page ends. And I'm just going to add a little arrow because we need to then score up and a bit just up from that score line. So doing it this way makes you sure that you get a nice gap in between your pages. Right, so we score that down, and then we're going to go with a quarter of an inch, and then going to go just a tad less, a bit more, like so, and then that way we should have some nice scored lines. So I've just gone along with that, and that way. So then we've got this gap here. Now that's what this part is. This we're going to bring this in. So I'm going to just add this underneath, like so. I'm going to just mark where those lines are, like so. So I've marked it. I've pushed my cardstock all the way in so that it's resting on that first scored line. Then I've made a mark, so then I've done my pencil line along there, and then I've come along and I've just marked where this flap underneath ends, like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off here, like so, and then we can then go ahead and attach that on. So I'm going to actually attach it so that it's underneath. So I'm going to turn it around the other way so I haven't got my pencil line showing, and then I'm going to put my flaps on the outside, bring that in, and make sure we're nice and level. You're not going to see this because you will have it will be covered, but this is just how I do it. So I've put my pencil lines there, so now I know that that's where my glue is going to go. I'm not going to go below that that pencil line. And again on this side, okay, and then we can go ahead and either put it on the top like so, or you can put it underneath. It's really up to you. I've put mine on the top, but again, that's up to you. So then that is my belly band done. Okay, we need to do the pocket is what we need to do next, and the small belly band on the back out of our cardstock. So we need to cut them, and then you can go ahead and cut out your pattern paper for those. You'll also need a flap, so work through your cutting guide from that part there, because this is what we now need to just work on. Okay, so I've cut all my elements out now, and I've scored my pockets on 3 sides, so both on the 2 short sides and 1 long side, and I've scored them at 1/2 inch. So I'm now just going to go ahead and just miter my corners. So I've just done the 2 bottom corners, and I will miter the top parts as well, just so that you don't see any of that cardstock when you close when you've put it in your book. So just closing that down now, and then just make sure you burnish it really well. Like so, and then I've got that finished. So I've also cut out my pieces. Now I'm going to put the red piece on the back and have this on the front. I think that's what I'm going to do. No, I'm going to have the red piece on the front, I think, like so, and then have that on there. So this is going to be on the back. So you will just need to ink your edges. Okay, I've inked those. I'm going to stick this part on so that it is drying before we add our pocket on. So now we need to add our pocket. Now pocket's going to go sort of there, I would think, right about there. So add your glue to those mountain fold glue tabs. Okay. And then when you're happy, just get it into place and burnish down like so. So that's your pocket. So now we can put our pattern paper onto the front of our pocket and ink the edges. We're also going to glue this in place. And then you've also then got your... So now it's time to put the little tuck spot on. I cut mine out of one of the postal stamp borders, and I'm going to back this onto some black card as well. Now the black card is not going to be a matte layer, it's just there to give the tuck spot a little bit of strength. So I'm going to glue it onto the cardstock here, and then I will just cut very, very close to the edge of that so that it doesn't create a border. And again, we're just going to glue the very edges of that. So, and again, you can have it down as far or as up as you like. I'll have it about there. And then for your flap, it's going to fit underneath there. We need to score our flap at the top, and I'm going to score this at a ½ inch along one of the short edges, just so that I've got a tiny bit of a glue tab. Now I'm going to round the corners on this. It's going to be the small ones, and then that can fit underneath there. Now you can either have it this way, like so, which I think I may have, or you can have it this way. I think I like this, the beigey colour side. So add your glue, stick the end into the tuck spot, and then you can gauge where you want to then put your flap. So I'm going to have it right up to the top, like so. So now we need to add our decorative feature to that. So you need to grab your cutter parts again and work out what you're going to have. Now I might have this music is silence. I quite like that. And we're also going to use some of the packaging for our matte layers. And we can add that up there. So again, if you've got some offcuts of your black, you can use that. But if you didn't want to, you could use your packaging. Now I used the packaging for so I'll use this part here. Now you could just add, I could just use this bit here, would look really nice. So take that off. and it just gives you a lovely decorative mat and layer. And I will ink around the edge, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I am just going to run another piece of card, pattern paper, just behind that, so that we haven't got that white showing. Now you could, which actually wouldn't be a bad thing, you could trap it in between. That might actually look quite nice. So I'm going to work out where I want that. So that's going to go there. So just add, let's turn it this way. So you can turn it that way. So that goes there. And make sure it's in between. So put your glue all the way across, like so. Make sure it's in between them lines. And then add your piece on the back. There we go. And then that's going to trap that in there and look rather nice. There we go. Make sure that it's nice and level. I think I might need to come up a bit. Goes too far down. Hopefully I've not got too much glue. Underneath that. There we go, that looks okay. And then you can then put that in there, and then that actually looks quite nice. So that then is that part of your belly band bit done. So we just now need to add some tags inside, but again you can use your packaging to create some tags as well. So we might do that in just a minute after we've finished this belly band. So let's push that down. So then we need to add our pattern paper on the back. So that gets added. So again, just put your glue at the two short ends, and we can stick that on like so. And then that's your belly band, and then you can just add a small little booklet, and all I did was I cut out something like this, and then I just scored it at an offset measurement like so, so that you end up with a little bit of a tab, and then I rounded the corners. So it's just using your offcuts, and if you have some of the stickers, you could use the stickers as well. What I did. then you could just use, as I say, use some of your stickers, or if you've got an offcut of anything else, you can just add that on there like so. And then that gets put into your belly band. And then I think on mine I added something nice on the back there. I added a cut apart. So you can just add, see what you've got. I'm going to use that saxophone. I'm going to have to take the black bit off. There we go. And then that can either go at an angle, which looks quite nice. So this is the packaging. Like so. And then what we can do now is just make it a little bit like so. I might round the corners on these, but just on the matte layer. There we go. So that you've got it at a bit of an angle, sort of a jointy angle, like so. Or just have it as an actual matte and layer. Like so. The only thing is I've cut that a little bit too short to be a nice matte. So I'm going to have it like that. I'm going to put this on first. So I'll add it this way. So add your glue. Again, just do your glue where you think it's going to sit. Like so. Make sure you don't glue it down. I'm hoping I haven't. No. Lovely. And then you can just put this then at a bit of an angle as well. And then again, just glue where I think it's going to sit. There. Like so. Bring that down. There we are. And then that's wrong way, it should be that way. There we go, like that. Or you can have this, actually have this, there we go, like so. Have this straight. And then what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of something there. I have got some stickers that I can just add a little bit of something to it. Let's have something that says music. That's actually quite nice. You can put that over there, and then that hides that little bit there with the bits on. So let's just turn that round. Add that on there, and then that hides that bit, and then you just have some nice backing paper on there, and you wouldn't know that it is the packaging. That was such a clever idea. I'm going to use that in all my books now. And then this can go in here like so. And then you've done that. So now we just need to make the tags. I'm just going to use what is left from the Patterned Solids cover just to create a little tag that's going to go into the belly band pocket. I'll also round the corners to make it more tag-like. Bring in our book. And we can then put the belly band on. And then just push that down. It will go down eventually. And then that is your belly band on like so. Okay, we're going to just now do our inside spines, and I'm going to use the piano paper. So this is the standing ovation page, and I'm going to cut it to 1.5. We're going to cut it to 7 3/8 first of all, like so, and then we're going to cut a 1/2 inch off. So I'm going to just turn that round because this is the other side. So 1/2 inch, like so, and then I'm going to cut it off the bottom here and make that, I think it's 8 1/4, 7 1/4. Oh, it might be even less. Yes, 7 1/4. Okay. So that's my inside, which goes there, and then this should be the right side for the other edge. And there we go, it is. So I'm just going to turn that around. No, turn it that way. There we go. So then that marries up to that, and then when you turn the page, that's going to marry up with this page here, like so, and then it looks all uniformed. So grabbing your pen, okay, and then turn it over. Make sure that you've, although I may need to cut 1 inch off of that. Sorry, I might need to cut just a 1/8 of an inch shorter on this one edge. It's just a smidge. It's not going to get caught now on that join there. Oh, that one. And then this one is perfectly okay. So then that is that hinge. Now this one here needs to be 1.5, so we can cut that out of the same paper. Yeah, nice gap there now. So that's then our hinges, sorry, our spines done as well. Okay, I've now cut out all my pieces for my waterfall. We just need to do some scoring now, and then we can start with assembling. Now, the only thing I haven't done is actually covered this base page. Okay, I've cut my base page out, and I'm going to gut the inside because it's going to be wasted. So it will give us an extra bit of paper to work with. So I'm going to have my borders at 1 1/4, which should give me a gap either side. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to mark. Now you can actually, oh, I can't, yeah, this might work. Let's go on the back, because we're not going to see this part anyway. So I'm just going to draw 2 lines, and I'm going to just do that all the way around. All I want is to get like a cross in between, because that's going to tell us where we can cut up to, like so. And one more, which I've done there. So can you see now I've got some crosses in the corners. Now we're going to cut from this corner to that corner and then go around so we create a circle. So I'm just going to line up those lines with the gully of my trimmer. Bring my trimmer blade in and then just keep going round. There we go. And then around again. And then that should just fall out, and then you've got this piece that we can use maybe as a tag or something like that. So we can then go ahead and put this in. So let me get my glue. Now I did put my pencil marks on the wrong side. Okay, so let's push this in. Move it over. Let me just make sure I've got it in the right frame. There we go. Move it over a little bit. Okay. Oh, I've got a bit of seepage there. There we are. And then your waterfall is going to fit on top, and then you will hide that piece under there like so. So next thing we need to do is do our waterfall closure. So I've got them here. So I've cut out my black cardstock and my 2 matching pattern paper pieces. So I'm just going to now score this at 5/8. Yes, 5/8. I'm going to score this at, just to give me a bigger glue tab. And I will round the corners on this like so. Like so, and then that one needs to be that side. And that goes in like that. That's it. So I've rounded my corners and I've done my score line. Then just place it on, because I'm actually going to put it onto our waterfall feature. So add your glue. And then butt it up to the edge like so, and then just burnish down, and then that's your waterfall feature done on there. Now the other thing that we need to do is add our magnets. Now on my other book I had this, your flap, your closure flap on the inside like so, and I think I'm going to do that again. I like this as my focal point. Let's add the magnets now to our belly band closure for our waterfall, and I'm just prying the magnets apart from the ones that were in the kit, because they actually did have a cover on the top, which I'm not going to use on this project, but I will use at a later date. Now I'm just getting my foundation tape and I'm going to attach one of the magnets to my belly band just in the center where I think it's going to be, and then I'll use another piece of foundation tape, but I'll put the sticky side up so that the magnet will find the magnetic force of the magnet underneath. So very, very carefully just going to lift that tape off, or lift the page up so that the tape is stuck underneath. I'm also going to add a magnet onto the top of the waterfall as well, just so that it gives a little bit more strength. So that's all done. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick it into my book, and then I will decorate once it's in place. So I'm going to use a bit of my tape just to initially stick it down as I'm working on it, but I will use glue as well, so I'm just putting this in. Right. And then let's add the glue. The glue is going to go all around the edges and then in the middle. This has got to have a lot of weight on it, so it does need to be stuck really well. So work out your placement. And then what's nice then is with using the glue, as I always say, you've got a bit of wiggle time with it. I'm going to push that over a little bit more. There we go. And then just burnish down when you're happy with it. So I'm going to turn that over and just burnish this down. There we are. So that's that. So now all we need to do is to just go ahead and decorate. So I put those on that side. So now I'm going to turn it over and I'm just going to put them on the back as well. Why you keeping me waiting? So next we need to do our little booklets that we've done. So these are my booklets and we're going to put them on. So I've got one that opens on the left and the two that open on the right on the way out. So I'm going to put that one there. We're going to put our little booklet on. Now it is going to be slightly bigger than your border here, but that's okay. I actually like it like that. So I'm going to center it in between those. So I'm going to just add our glue to the back of that, and then I'm going to add a little something on there. So I'm going to miss one and put the next one, and this one's going to be the one that opens the other way, opens on the left hand side. And then miss one and it goes the next one. So then next we've only got our 12 other sheets that we've done, and these are going to go on the underside and on the ones that we've missed as well. Close. I'm going to have that closing like that, so that's all enclosed, and then this is your flap that you lift off. So the next thing that we've got to do is just add a little bit of embellishments on the top. To do that I am going to use some of the cutouts. So I might have If Music Be the Food of Love Play On, and I'm going to just cut that out. So that's going to go on there, and I'm going to have a little border here Now because this is a bit smaller, I'll show you a trick of how we're going to do that. So I'm just going to cut this at any length so that it doesn't matter as long as it's going to fit. I'm going to add this to my matten layer like so, and then I'm going to just place it where I think I want it to go, which is probably about there. So let me turn that around, add my glue, and then add that on like so. We can add our little topper, add our second piece, get your spacings correct, and then we can just go ahead and just place it down where we think it goes, which is about there, and then add your topper. Now again, you can matten layer this, and then you can maybe put some foam pads on as well. So again, it's up to you. So that's my top part. So we take our bits off. Oh, we've got to add these. There we go. That's last little bit. And then hopefully that'll fit. Oh, and it just fits, and that's good. So I'm going to put this one on first. It goes on just on there like so. I am going to have it so it goes portrait rather than landscape. And then this can go on this side here. And then the last one, which is the mandolin. There we go. So that's the waterfall done. So the next thing we've got is our back. Now we've done the main part of it where we've covered the back, and then we can work on the front. So I've cut my cardstock now for my waterfall, and I've also cut my pattern paper for my diagonal pocket as well. But we're going to work on the waterfall first and then do the diagonal pocket in a minute. So we're going to work from the front of our waterfall, and we're going to count back 3. So 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do is very carefully cut away the rest of the waterfall. Like so. So you're left with something like this, okay, where you've got this little tab thing at the back. Now to hide that, that's where this piece of card comes in, and you can either put it so it's on the inside like so. I think I'm going to put it so that it's here, and then you've got that on at the outside. Now if you want to just tidy that little bit up, if you can, just stick it into your trimmer. There we go. Just to tidy that bit up. So we need to add our backing. So I'm going to put the glue onto that little tab. So once you've got it in place, just burnish down. Now as you can see, my card is a different colour, but that's going to be okay because when you paper it, you're not going to notice. I'm just going to burnish that down and burnish that down at the back like so. So then that is going to be your booklet. Now I am going to just burnish these all down so that they're nice and crisp lines, like so. And then the other pieces that what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away some of this along the top, just so that I've got a smaller part at the top. I mean, you don't have to, but that's just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut it down to, let me work on the back here. I'm going to cut it down to 3 7/8. Okay, so bring your trimmer in again. And bring it up and put it 3 7/8. Oh, I nearly did. 3 7/8. I nearly cut it all off. So remember to put your waterfall so that the mechanism is facing the back here. There we go. So you can take that little bit off, and then you've got this smaller piece here. Now you've got a big piece here, but that doesn't matter. That's I quite like that it wasn't uniformed. So that then is that finished. We just need to decorate that now. So I've cut my diagonal pocket, and I haven't cut my diagonal pocket. I've cut my pattern paper for my diagonal pocket. Now what I've done is I've actually cut it so that it is the same size as your pocket, so we end up with a really good matten layer. So what we're going to do is we need to measure up, so that should be 5 inches, which is there. We need to measure across. Now I'm going to have my pocket going from the left hand side to the right, so I need to measure from my right hand side to my left. So we need to measure across 1 3/8. So I'm going to go across 1 3/8, put my mark, and then on my right hand side I need to measure up 1 inch. Okay, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line where those two, a diagonal line where those two measurements meet, and then we're going to cut that off. Okay, like so. Okay, so that's cut off. Now it will be the same size, and I'm going to cut about a 1/8 of an inch measurement off the bottom and off of the left hand side, like so. So that's then your nice neat border around your diagonal pocket. So put this on. Okay, so I'm going to just stick this down, and then we can work on the waterfall. So this is going to go right towards the bottom. Now I may just use my clips just to clip this down, and then I'll leave that to one side while that's drying. So next we can bring in our album, and we can cut out our pattern paper. Now with this you can use your offcuts because they will work on your page. Okay, I've gone ahead and cut out all my pattern pieces now for my waterfall. I've also cut out a 3 by 5.5 card from the cover of the Graphic 45. As you can see, it's the cover that I'm going to use as a matten layer. Now you will need yourself some foam tape for this, and we'll do the cover first. So this is my cover piece, which is going to go like so. I'm going to add my base page, and then I'm going to bring in my foam tape. I'm just going to get quite a bit. Now I've used the card, because it's one, it's quite sturdy, and two, what do we do with our card when we've actually, the covers, when we've actually used our pages? We throw them away. So it's a nice idea to actually incorporate them into our projects as well, because they're a good source of cardstock, and they are quite robust as well, so it's a good thing to try and use them. So I've just added that on there. Now I'll take these off. So I'll make sure I get this up the right way, and then I'm just going to pop it on in the middle like so. Okay, I'm going to use this offcut as a border. So what I've done is I've just cut out some of the Graphic 45 pad cover, and I've just backed it with some pattern paper. So I've actually cut it out the actual size of my image here. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back here. I haven't actually got a border as such around this image, because I was using the actual red border that was already around it. And then we'll add this in, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of double-sided foam tape just to the bottoms there of my border, just so that it's not flapping around on its own like so. And then we can add this. Now I'm not going to put any foam tape on this. I am just going to use the glue. So I will put the glue on just half of my image. Now what I've done is I've turned it upside down that way, so I know that this isn't the way that I need it the glue to go. So I'm going to stick that on like so. And that's my front, and then we've just got the inside bits to do, and then it looks like that. So that actually goes really well with the border that I've used. So let's put my glue on, stick this down, and then the little border strip goes on like so. Make sure you've left a nice gap in between. So that's my first page. Okay, so we're going to add this. Oh, this is page 5. So let me put those ones that I've got to page 5, and then we'll process of elimination. That's page 5, and that's page 5. So page 6, and then the strip. There we go. So page 5, page 6. This must be page 7. Yes, page 7. And the strip. Page 7. And then we did have a big one for the back. That's that bit. So then we've just got this page and page 4 to do. So I think this was my pocket. So we're going to stick this bit down, and this is the top part of the page. So we're going to stick it this way, like so. And then the pocket, we're just going to attach on 3 sides. So 2 of the short sides and 1 of the top. and one of the long sides, but make sure you do the right side. That's it. And then we'll add something on there in a second. And then we've just got to find out what I've done with my page 4. I can go ahead and cover in those strips where your waterfall meets the backing card. And you've got 2 of those, and one of them will be, which would be the back one, is 3/8 by, I think it's 6 3/8, and the other one is 5/8 by 6 3/8. So again, you just need to have a look at your cutouts. I'm going to use something like that, and I'll have it this way, I think. I'm also going to back the cutout onto some black card to make the cut apart a little bit stronger. So we can just stick it on like so. Again, I'm just going to turn it upside down so that I can gauge where I need to put my glue. That goes like so. And then you can put then your bits in between. Oh. I put it over this part here where my join is. I wondered why that didn't close. There we go. And then that just covers that up like so. Just going to put it there so that it just comes up the other side. So then that is your booklet done. So bring in our album with our, and then that should, I mean this isn't, but I'm actually going to leave this open this side. That it just gives a little bit more allowance to your pocket here. So that's then the back, and then now we've just got the front. Okay, to do the front cover. Now I've got some of the covers from our paper pads that I've got ready to cut, and another piece here that I'm going to use as a border. So we're aiming just to make a composition something like that. So I've got different layers on my front cover. Again, it's how you want to do your own book, but I think it's just working out and just using some of the bits that you've got. Now I'm just making up the measurements as I go along, just so that I've got something to play with. So this is going to be my back piece like so, and I'm going to put my double-sided foam tape onto that. So then we've got another piece like this, but I might chop this down like so and add that there. And then I was going to use a smaller piece. So this is going to be a border on like so. Then you can use something like that. So this is going to go on the top there, but we need to leave space for our hinge. So with the hinge, I am actually going to use, I don't know if that won't be big enough. It's a shame. I could use that. I have got something like this that can go. I'm obviously going to make it a little bit smaller. There we are. I might have it there. And then obviously make it smaller. So let's keep that there. So it says love notes on. And then that can go underneath or on top. Actually on top I think goes better. Right, okay, so now it's just a case of deconstructing it and then putting it back together. Now what you could do is make a take a photo with your phone, that way you'll know where each piece goes. I'm not going to do that for the purpose of the video, but you could do. So I would normally do that if I was working on my own, so that I could just see where everything is. So I'm just putting my double-sided foam tape just on the backing piece, because I want a little bit of dimension on our album front. And then I will add a couple just in the middle, just so that my piece doesn't sag, because there's nothing worse than having a saggy centerpiece. So take the double-sided tape off. Okay. Make sure you've got everything up the right way before you stick things down, and then I'm going to put it as near as I can to that side. There we go. So that's my first piece down. And this one, I think. And this is just going to have a bit of double-sided tape just on that one edge. Ooh. I ended up with a bit of a crinkle in my paper. I'll take that bit off. I might make this a tiny bit smaller. There, that's it. I like that. So I'm going to leave that like so, and then we're going to put our little plate on. That's going to go here, so I'm going to have it so it comes off and off both sides of that border. So let me push my screw through there, and then next we need to screw the little knob handle on. Now I've got my screw underneath the bottom, I can then use that to tighten the knob onto the plate. And that's going to fit over there. And then I will put some double-sided foam tape just under the one side here. And then I'm going to add a bit of the foundation tape just to the back, just to keep that in place. And that's going to go there. I'm going to add one more piece there, like so, and then we can add our glue. Going to go on like so. And then you can put this bit just on there like that. There we go. And then that is the finished book. And we have done really well with this project. So we've made 2 books, or I've made 2 books in exactly the same style in different papers, and it just shows you 2 different looks using the same design. Thank you ever so much for watching and supporting my channel. Please don't forget to comment, like, and definitely subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, and I appreciate each and every one. I really do. Don't forget to go and check out the Graphic 45 site as well. Please come and join me on my social media, Memories Paper Art. We post lots of things in there. I also post all my cutting guides go into that group as well, and you can only see them if you are a member. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please have the most amazing day, and I will see you again on the next one. Bye.